Hey there, folks. This is Ted Cantu. I'm watching you, and you're watching me. We are on a miracle mind shift. We're counting down to New Year's. Tomorrow's going to be 12, 31, 23. Hence, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be basically it for the rest of the year. The only time in history you're going to see that number. So, the theme of the show today, because we get lots of feedback now on miracles, and we say the miracle mind shift. What do you want to see in your life? How do you want to see things progress? How do you make your own miracles? And of course, I like this one idea. This rabbi says, where did I meet him? He said, I always thought if a person was incapable of making miracles in her life, that there's something definitely wrong, because that's abnormal. Abnormal. Imagine that. That's a great mindset. Not that, being abnormal part, of course, but I mean, the fact that miracles can happen fluently and every day. I had one today. Let me show you this something. One of the biggest keys is to not really react to people and situations in a negative way. And it's a practice that you're going to have to learn how to do and control yourself. Now, I'm standing here in front of Soho, New York. New York City is Attitude City. And I've lived there on and off all my life. And I got to say, I've worked here too, in Manhattan, in Brooklyn, in Chelsea, and I've seen it all pretty much. I've seen people at the best, and I've seen people at the worst. But I got to say that it's been really interesting, because people in the city, especially a busy city like that, I've seen people lose it and just completely lose it. And they'll push the light away without meaning to. And if you want to do that, react to anything. Anything can happen in the city. When you react, you push the light away. Let me give you an example. Real city example. Fair enough. There was this, oh boy, there was a guy walking out of Kinko's. I don't even have Kinko's anymore. It was a copy place. You can get copies made, and Kinko's, right? Office supply store. Guy comes walking out, and he might have been looking at his BlackBerry. This is a long time ago. And I remember he had like Buddy Holly glasses, and he was real high strung. And this one guy almost walked into him by accident, because he was looking at his own BlackBerry. Back in those days, we used to call them crackberries. And it's before the iPhone. And your whole world resolved around emails and who's contacting you and all this stuff. And these guys almost walk into each other. The guy with the glasses freaked out. He goes, hey, watch where you're going. And the guy goes, I'm really sorry, man. I'm really sorry. And the guy goes, have a great day. And the guy goes, don't tell me what to do. Hey, and this thing escalated. And he goes, what? You trying to start something with me? And the guy goes, no, I'm just saying, have a nice day. And the guy goes, F you to the guy. I mean, like, they're gonna kill each other, and someone's gonna get murdered in front of me. My dad says it like this. He goes, wow. Now, he's from the Midwest, where none of this stuff ever happens. It only happens in movies to him. And he goes, is this still the same planet? True story. But people like that, they have no patience, and they blow up. They give away their power like that. You never get to a place of peace where the light can get through and work through you and create miracles. So remember that any kind of darkness that we got inside of us, that's what's going to be reflected on the outside. And because of that, uh, it's going to manifest outside of you. Major concepts here. I may not have time to really go through all of them, but that's the main one. And I like this idea. Imagine a mirror that goes all the way up to heaven, and you can see your own reflection. And every time you overreact, lose your cool, yell your head off, blow up, you can see yourself. Imagine that. That came from, I believe it was Yehuda Berg talking about that from the Kabbalah Center. And it blocks the blessing. It blocks the light. You're not acting like the light. You're not in unison with it. Remember, we got to be the giver, and we have to be the cause for an effect to take place. So if we're sitting, uh, on our backsides, waiting for a blessing to happen, just remember, God is the cause. We are the effect on this earth. For us to turn that energy around so that we get the blessings, that we get the doors open for ourselves, we have to be the cause, meaning we got to do something for somebody else. We got to give and give generously to somebody else so we can actually move forward. This is where miracles come from. This is where the breaks come from, the lucky breaks. And the idea of, wow, I'm going to allow this energy to come through and help me. I am going to allow my prayers to come through. I'm not going to block. I'm not going to resist. I'm not going to blow it by yelling at somebody or losing my cool. I'm going to give you one miracle today because I do believe some of my other videos are pretty long-winded. And I do apologize for that, but I'm really hoping that you got something out of them. These concepts are so big. I think we're going to be probably dedicating entire shows to them. But for right now, I'll give you one style miracle. Okay. It's a positive action miracle. Now, this happens when you have a positive dimension to your life, either like an unexpected raise, or you meet the man or woman of your dreams, or they increase the quality of your physical life. I've had that twice. I had two big ones. That's where my fiance came from. She's right over here. Pretty amazing, kind of spooky, but I don't want to really go into the whole big thing. It's long. Go to the Thanksgiving Day show, and you'll see the whole story about how I met her again. She was a girl from my high school. Thought I'd never see her again. Always liked her, and she showed up later in my life because I didn't close the door and say no to it. And then she showed up. In fact, she lives on the beach where this picture right here was painted. You're looking at a picture and a piece of artwork that was used for The Greatest Showman, the life of P.T. Barnum, and who's basically the godfather of advertising, which is really weird. And I went into advertising, and that's about the age that her and I were when we were in each other's lives. This painting represents children back in the 1800s, sometime, the late 1800s. So obviously, we didn't dress like that then, but it's interesting to me. And she lives on that beach to this day. Kind of spooky, but that's just one. The other one was I actually had increasing the quality of your day-to-day physical life. I got rid of planner's warts through God's grace. That's an amazing story. And to this day, if you don't know what plantar warts are, they're like horrible lesions and tumors. And I had them on my feet as a result of drugs and penicillin and crap they gave me in the hospital. My blood went bad with a fungal disorder, and I ended up getting them on my feet. Really horrible. Didn't know how I was going to get rid of them. And juicing got rid of them. It actually cleaned up the blood, went right down to the root, and just wiped everything out. Fantastic story. Watch the show on Thanksgiving. I do go into it, and it's called Give Thanks. It's on my channel. Those are just two. Now, how did you do it? How did I do it? In both cases, I had a conversation with God. And I told him, I said, listen, I don't believe that you created us to suffer. I don't believe that was your grand design. I refuse to believe that. So right there, I'm allowing the doors to be open because there's doubt, no doubt, my faith that something great is going to happen. Yeah. And when I saw Leanne the first time, my fiance, I thought to myself, this is somebody unique. I don't know what it is. This is more than just a crush on somebody. She was an attractive girl, but it was beyond that for me. Like, this is somebody significant, somebody of depth that I want to know. And there wasn't time to really get to know her because I ended up moving to Virginia as a kid. I moved like 20 times. How she showed up later in life, she wrote a concert review at my casino. My family owns a casino for some metal band, and she put her name on it. And I happened to find her review, and I clicked on it, and it went right to her Facebook page, and I found her. So weird. And that's a whole nother story, but I'll just keep it short. And one thing led to another, and we're together today. The two miracles right there. Now I'm thinking about the miracle thing is that we can connect to the energy source when we want to. And that's really got me thinking about what I can build, what I can create, what I can help others create, and that we are often blocked by our subconscious mind because we've been programmed through professors, colleagues, teachers, friends, neighbors, rabbis, priests, nuns. I used to get slapped around by nuns like this and told I was no good. That's what they do. Not anymore. Teddy's a big boy now. I'm not going to put up with that. But I'm just saying. So this stuff happens, and we get conditioned, and we get limited beliefs. And sometimes we believe in all the negativity. And when that happens, we don't grow. I want to be unlimited. I want the people I talk to and I help. I want them to be unlimited too. Big responsibility. I'll give you one more. The removal miracle. You can remove people, ugly situations. I had neighbors that were so awful. Awful. Really awful. I might just do a whole show on them one day. But they used to get in physical fights right up my street. Yeah. Thanksgiving, I remember one. They were saying, I had a guy yelling at the top of his lungs on Thanksgiving Day saying, I'm a real man. He says, and then if you people out there in your homes, if you think you're man enough to take me on, take me on. And it was like out of a movie. And I look out the window and all these doors open up on my street. And all these people come out ready to pounce on this guy. One guy brought a board. The guy used to live next to me, brought a board. Him and his buddy came out, big board. They came out there and started beating on him. And it turned to a big street brawl. Oh my goodness. Cops came, fire department came on Thanksgiving. Can you imagine? About 20 years ago. Anyway, it was kind of a funny story. But so one of the main ringleaders lived across the street. About 4 months later, uh, cops came over, found out he had expired tags on his truck. They put a big orange sticker on the back of his windshield and pressed it. That's what they do when you don't pay your tags, at least in Michigan. Now that's terrible. And this kid's out there, and the cop drove off, and that kid was mad. And getting that sticker out the back of your windshield is a real pain in the toot, I tell you. So this kid grabbed a crowbar, and he snapped, mentally snapped. He took his crowbar, and he's beating the crap out of his whatever it was, truck. Put big dents all over his truck. Bang, 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 bang. And he's cussing his head off and he's yelling. Me? I could have just been laughing and enjoying the show, watching someone else go through some horrible karma, because I didn't like that kid. I did. But I did the weirdest thing that day. And I actually prayed for him. I had compassion and empathy for him. Any other day, I would have probably laughed my head off. Spirit told me, have compassion. I did. I prayed for him. Prayed for my enemy. Love thy enemy. Just like Christ says in the Bible, forgive thy enemy. Going back to the removal miracle. Something happened, I don't know. Not long after that, maybe a month. He moved out of my neighborhood. Moved. Never saw him again. He never even came back to visit. I mean, he was gone. Wow. Shared the light, and he left. Wow. Pretty cool. I did it a few more times too. Change the situation. It's almost kind of like central casting, you know? You're in this great play, and there's a costume change for all your theater majors out there, and there's a cast change. People just clear the way. The removal miracle. Works for health too. If you look at it that way. Health problems, people, job situations, employment, divorce, possibly. I never really use it for anything like that, but yeah, I can see that working. Wow. Enough stuff there. Just a little teaser on the Miracle Mind Shift, kind of stuff that we're going to be doing together next year. I'm learning more techniques about the subconscious mind, about the quantum field and how to pull in energies to clear stuff, to heal things, to make a better life. That interests you, give me a shout. 248-277-6141. Email me at tedcantu@gmail. You could always find me online too at tedcantu.com. And remember, if I can overcome my problems, you can too. That's what we say here. We had right here, watch this. And knock your problems out. But you see this? There you go. It's a big boxing glove. Knock your problems out. Inside out. Start living a different life, full of light, love, and miracles. Don't live in reaction like these guys. One more story and I'll let you go. I used to eat all over the city. I had a restaurant I used to go to. It was around the holidays. And it's called the Jekyll and Hyde Club. I don't know if it's still around anymore. but I went there, and all of your waiters dressed up like movie monsters. I had a mad scientist as my waiter. He had a white like a lab coat, and he had a crazy mad scientist wig. It was a silver wig, looked like cotton candy. That was his hair, and he's a mad scientist, and he was my waiter. Other guys had Frankenstein. Some other table had Dracula, and so forth and so on. And it was like a haunted house restaurant. It's called the Jekyll and Hyde Club. I don't even know if it's even around anymore. I know it was up by, oh geez, Broadway, and I want to say 57th. It was like some 52 Second Street, somewhere up there. Anyway, so I ordered a cheeseburger, and it was like $20. Now back 20 years ago, it was a big deal. 20, dollar cheeseburger. You can get one on the corner for a couple bucks. But I ate there by myself. It was Christmas season, and it was horrible. And we had this it's like a theater themed restaurant. So back then we used to have actors running around dressed up, and they had a horrible sound system. And you couldn't, it was all muffled, like you couldn't hear it. And they were saying some aliens came, landed on the roof, and they stole Santa Claus. Oh my God, where's my migraine medicine? So crazy. And kids are going, oh no, Santa Claus! Oh my God, they stole him. And Rudolph was being held captive by the aliens. And oh man, I'm like, just let me out of here. Mad scientist comes up with my burger, throws it on the table. I open it up. There's nothing in it. $20, right? No lettuce, no tomato, no onion, no nothing. Just cheese. I think cheese and a burger. That was it. And then bun. And he runs off. And they had this spiral staircase that went all the way to the ceiling. And he goes running up there, and he was kind of like laughing. He's like, I said, hey. I says, where you go? I went chasing after him. I went running up the stairs, and I was furious. I go, I want my lettuce, I want my tomato, I want my onions. I go, hey, are you listening to me? I go, you get back here. And I'm yelling at him. Every head in the restaurant stops and looks at me. That's the crazy guy. You see that guy over there? He's a crazy New Yorker, man. Like you see in the movies. That's him right there. Now, I'm from Michigan, right? I'm going, oh no. They think I'm one of these crazy people in the city. And I'm thinking to myself, that's how it starts. That's how it starts. I officially crossed over. I screwed up one too many times in my life. And now I'm one of these people. That's where it begins. And I thought, oh, no, 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 I don't want to be one of them. I stopped, turned around, walked down the spiral staircase, went back to my table. I flagged down a manager, told him what's going on with my burger. He fixed it. And I thought, I don't want to cross over into that craziness, that chaos, living in the 1% world, which basically means 1% is what we see, because nothing is stable around us. Everything's in constant motion, but it looks solid. 1%. The 99%, the stuff that we don't see, that's the quantum field. There's probabilities. There's 9 dimensions of the self that we don't see. And some of us never see it in this lifetime. But I want to get close to it. I want to get closer to the light. I want to have more miracles. And I started studying this stuff. And about time, too, because if I would have stayed where I was, who knows where I would have ended up. The universe saved me. And I found the right books and the right teachers. And I've been studying this for a long time. So anyway, that's my story with the Miracle Mind Shift. For now, to be continued in 2024. We might do a few more shows before the end of the year, just to kind of get you ready. But we got new classes coming too. If you want to be coached in this stuff and how to get through breakthroughs with your family, your business, life and reach a place of contentment? Yeah, yeah. Like I was on Christmas Day. I sat by the fireplace and read, had peace and contentment all around me. All the nonsense, all the BS was gone. And I realized I have arrived at a place of peace. So if that's what you want to do, that's my long-winded exit. Uh, like I said, I'm Ted Cantu, Miracle Mind Shift. If I can overcome my problems, you can too. That's what you want to do. And we'd love to have you. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you online.